One of the largest and most dependable energy sources on Earth could be the Earth itself.
The core of the Earth is very warm, so there's a big temperature gradient between it and the surface. So there's a natural flow of heat by conduction to the surface.
Electricity derived from the planet's own heat is called geothermal energy, and it's a virtually unlimited source of power. To harness it, we must go underground to make steam.
What's good about geothermal is all the power plants in the world run on steam. We have naturally occurring steam. Therefore, we don't need to burn any fuel.
Geothermal energy is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And because of that, it has significant advantages over wind, solar, and other forms of renewable energy.
So far, less than 1% of the world's power comes from geothermal sources. On the west coast of the US, a start was made in the early 1980s. This is Northern California's Bottle Rock geothermal plant. It sits on the largest steam field in America. But it couldn't compete with cheap oil, and the easy-to-reach steam began to fizzle out. 15 years ago, it went out of business. Now, using improved geothermal technology, Bottle Rock is once again up and running.
This hiss is music to my ears. What you hear is steam passing through the pipe.
Engineers produce the steam by injecting water into the steam field.
The way that happens here is by using recharged water. That is water from local cities that is treated and then pumped to the geysers and put back into the steam producing area. And we bring that steam back to the surface and run them through the power plants and make electricity. At the present time, we bring in from 2 different sources about 20 million gallons per day.
The water is heated by hot rock 2,700 meters underground. It shoots up a series of wells and flows through these pipes before pouring into the turbines at 162 degrees Celsius.
This steam flows directly to the power plant, and it will spin the machinery that makes electricity that goes out to the grid, so we can turn on our lights, air conditioner, and watch movies.
Bottle Rock is now considered a green, state-of-the-art geothermal plant.
We're very excited about this project. This project is going to supply more than 30,000 homes with electricity, all renewable energy.
The heat at Bottle Rock is found at a depth of 2,700 meters, which in geothermal terms is shallow. Some scientists think the heat that lies far deeper can also become usable. Dr. Jefferson Tester of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology believes it is possible to extract geothermal energy anywhere, as long as you go deep enough.
We would like to go very deep into the Earth ultimately. It's an enormous warehouse of energy that we could utilize. Many, many thousands of times the primary energy that we consume annually right now in the United States is literally under our feet.
If you go down far enough anywhere in the world, there is hot rock down there, and you can extract the heat from it.
It's not known exactly how much energy may be down there. The west coast of America is seismically active and very hot. 10 kilometers below St. Helena, California, the temperature is nearly 315 degrees Celsius. But what about the east coast? Let's take a look into the Earth's crust below Raleigh, North Carolina. 3 kilometers down, the temperature hits 50 degrees Celsius. At 10 kilometers, the temperature approaches 200 degrees. The greatest challenge to extracting that energy has been figuring out how to drill both precisely and cost-effectively that deep into the Earth. In conventional drilling, each time a bit breaks, you have to pull out kilometers of piping and start all over again. Jefferson Tester and his PhD student, Chad Augustin, believe they found the solution.
We're going to do methanol from now on instead of hydrogen, because it's easier to start with, it's easier to control the flame.
They're working on a completely new drill, which will burn its way through rocks deep in the Earth.
It's really essentially like a rocket engine that produces this flame that had a diameter of about 5 to 6 inches. And what we're trying to do is to use a thermal source, a flame of sorts, to thermally cause the rock to fracture and melt.
In the laboratory, Dr. Testa simulates the high-pressure conditions deep inside the Earth.
We have to go deep into the Earth where we would have water-filled holes and have to produce these flames in a high-pressure water environment. So that's what's different about it, and we're hoping that these experiments we're conducting here will be able to demonstrate the feasibility of that technology.
Using hot, dry rock for geothermal energy would work like this. Engineers drill as deep as 10 kilometers. They fracture rocks, which are as hot as 300 degrees Celsius. They would then inject water through one borehole and pump it out through a second hole. The superheated water would power a turbine, producing electricity. In theory, hot, dry rock could meet all of the Earth's energy needs for thousands of years. But what if you could harness the sun's energy without having to make any special photovoltaic cells at all? That's what Antonio Esteban is doing in Seville. Like most school children, he learned that you can concentrate the sun's energy with a magnifying glass. Today, he's using that concept in an effort to power all of Seville.
We are now in the PS10 plant.
Instead of a piece of paper, Antonio focuses sunlight on a tower that stands 40 stories tall.
This is a central receiver solar power plant.
It's the only operating commercial solar tower in the world.
We have here the field of heliostats.
The heliostats are high-quality mirrors on motorized mounts that track the path of the sun throughout the day. The 624 mirrors reflect sunlight onto a receiver at the top of a tower. The concentrated sunlight raises the temperature to 260 degrees Celsius.
In the top of the tower, we have a receiver, and in this receiver, we produce saturated steam.
That saturated steam is made inside a network of stainless steel tubes and is piped down the legs of the tower to the heart of the system.
This is the turbine. It's 11 megawatt power, nominal power, and in this turbine, with the steam from the receiver, we produce electricity, and we send electricity to the grid.
This region of southern Spain is blessed with sunlight, 3,000 hours of it a year. But even here, the biggest drawback to solar power can appear at any moment: clouds. But Antonio has a backup plan.
We can storage energy here to operate the plant in the case we have a cloud.
The trick is to design the solar tower so it generates more heat than the turbine can use. The extra energy is then stored for a rainy day. And Antonio is just getting warmed up. He's got big plans.
In 7 years, we will have the construction of all this solar platform, and the nominal power of this solar platform with the 9 plants will be 300 megawatts.
That's enough to power the entire city of Seville and its 600,000 residents. And it's all done with mirrors.
Now we have under construction the PS20 plant.
Instead of steam, this new plant will use molten salt inside the tower. Salt retains heat much longer than water, which means the plant will be able to produce power even at night. By 2014, the entire city will be powered with clean, renewable energy.
This plant also avoids the emission of CO2 to the atmosphere of about 18,000 tons per year.
If similar plants were built on about 1% of the sun-baked Sahara Desert, they could provide enough electricity to power the entire world.
The thing most people don't understand about climate change is they assume that solving this problem is going to cost us extra. I got news for you. Climate protection is not costly, it's profitable because it's cheaper to save fuel than to buy fuel.
Around the world, scientific research and innovative technologies are providing exciting new energy models.
It's just such an incredible opportunity to be here and being on the forefront of this technology.
I'm excited by the whole range of progress in energy efficiency. Efficiently used renewable energy can make all the electricity we need. I think as that good news spreads, the resistance is going to melt faster than any glacier.